Hi YouTube, Dave Barney here, recording this from Liverpool. Today I want to talk about how the IRA killed the Queen Elizabeth II, as well as Harambe, and how they got away with it. Pay attention, cause this will probably be deleted soon. Before we talk about the Queen, we must first talk about US President John F. Kennedy. In the year 1963, while driving through the town of Dallas, JFK was shot by a sniper, Lee Harvey Oswald. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Oswald was later killed by Jack Ruby, another killer who then conveniently died of cancer before being properly interrogated. Many people have speculated about who or what group could have been behind this conspiracy. So some say it was the FBI, others say it was the KGB. Well, I think it was done by the IRA. You see, John was a Catholic, which was kind of the first time a president of that religious group ever got elected. Like a lot of Catholics in America, he came from a family with an Irish background. With that info in mind, one can only imagine JFK being invited a couple times to come visit Ireland. Well, he actually did go to Ireland in 1963, the year of his death. During this trip, he met a lot of Irish leaders, such as the president, members of parliament, and Catholic bishops. God knows what secret information did they share with the president. All I know is that he was killed in Dallas City, and not so long after his trip. But yeah, as I said, I think that JFK was killed by the IRA. Now, for those who know, the IRA was founded in 1917 thanks to secret funding from the Catholic Church. The goal of the organization was to get rid of British influence in Ireland through acts of terrorism. While throughout their history, the IRA has been mostly known for their fighting during the Irish Civil War and the bombs they would set off in Northern Ireland. However, the IRA also has been involved in a lot of large-scale conspiracies that have remained secret to the public, that have remained secret to the public. And I think that JFK's assassination is one of them. The proof I have to support my claims is a document posted onto 4chan. One image in the document shows Joe Ostland's family friends and their Irish passport. Another image shows Jack Ruby attending a St. Patrick's Day parade. Now, I know this sounds a bit insane already, but you have to know that this is just, the first major conspiracy the IRA was responsible for, at least on this list. In 2016, Cincinnati Zoo, there was a gorilla named Harambe who so far had lived a relatively good life with his fellow gorillas. Until one fateful day when a 3-year-old kid climbed over the fence and went into the gorilla's pen. The official version of events state that, the parents panicked and alerted the staff. The staff then proceeded to order the gorillas to go back to their cages. Harambe was the only ape to not comply to these orders. Instead, he approached the kid and dragged the kid, you know, uh, to the other side of the enclosure. At this point, the staff were hesitant over whether they should use tranquilizer darts to put the animal to sleep or to use lethal force. They chose lethal force, so on his 17th birthday, Harambe was shot and killed. The tragedy was portrayed as an unfortunate incident. However, this is not exactly the case. Harambe's death was planned, and I have undeniable proof to back up my claim. There's an image of the staff member that killed Harambe that has been scrubbed from the internet. I have searched around the internet for background information on this individual, and I have found a recent interview in which that zoo employee was featured. In the interview, the zoo employee appears to be Irish based on his accent.
A true Irishman like me, I hate the British. I hate this candy that you brought me. I wish a pox upon your family.
And he refers himself as the Candyman. I did a bit more digging, and look what I have found. An image of the Candyman standing right next to members of the IRA. So, yeah, I guess the IRA was also behind Harambe's death. And I mean, you know, how would a 3-year-old accidentally find himself, in a gorilla's cage. He must have had some help. There are also a lot of cases of the IRA carrying out these sort of conspiracies and cover-ups, like the time where they made the Notre Dame de Paris burn to the ground because they think that French culture is cringe, which is something I don't completely disagree with. There's also another instance where an innocent man by the name of Jeffrey Epstein was killed by the IRA just because he was friends with Prince Andrew. They also covered up his death to make it look like he committed an hero. So that's why some people seeking justice for this tragedy will say Epstein didn't die. All right, this is the moment of the video you've probably been waiting for: the assassination of Queen Elizabeth. So on the 8th of September, it was announced to the world that Her Majesty had died to everyone's surprise, except for the IRA. Look, with all the examples provided above, do I really need to explain how I think the IRA killed the Queen? I mean, even got like examples of IRA supporters celebrating Elizabeth's death on the internet.
Irish unification is coming. 2024. Mark my fucking words.
We discussed how the IRA carried out all these conspiracies, but we haven't discussed why they're willing to do all these things. After all, I'm pretty sure these secret plots didn't really help them lay claim over Northern Ireland. And I mean, you could also just say the same thing about the usual acts of terrorism that they would commit. So, what is the secret motive? Well, dear viewer, I already have the answer to the question, but I first need to talk about the secret branch of the IRA. There have been a couple leaked images online of the current leader of the IRA going to an isolated place called Blueball County in Ireland. In this county, there's a mansion where the IRA leader secretly meets up with Catholic bishops, Irish politicians, and other members of the Irish elite. They meet up in this room where a blue sphere can be seen in display. According to rumors on the subject, this secret group of people want to melt the North Pole by any means necessary. That includes using lasers from satellites. The secret conspiracies I mentioned earlier serve either as distractions or have some great role to play in the conspiracy. Essentially, these people want to flood the planet to make it look like the blue sphere. So share this video before the IRA censors it. And if you don't want to, if you don't want the Earth to turn into a blue ball.